Good morning, it's Lana Wright with the Wright Real Estate team at the Real Estate Professionals here in Calgary, Alberta. It's February the 13th and I'm here to give you today a little bit of information about changes to some of the things happening in the condominium industry. So the first, of course, that I want to touch base on is insurance. So we and many homeowners who own condominiums have seen increases to not only the premiums that insurance companies are charging condo corporations, but we're also seeing an increase to the deductibles. Where this affects you as a homeowner, a property owner in a condo, is that the board actually has the ability to come to you for the deductible if there's a problem that damages something in the building that stems as a result from something in your unit. So the easiest example would be your toilet explodes, you're on the 7th floor and it floods, the entire 6 units below and maybe either side. The board can come to you now for the deductible. Now we're seeing larger deductibles, so we're seeing $20,000 and $50,000 deductibles now coming up. So what you can do in order to ensure that you're not going to receive this huge financial burden should that accidentally or happen to you is you want to make sure you have unit owner's policy. You also, if you're renting your unit out, want to make sure that your tenant has insurance and that you have insurance that covers it as a rental unit. The other thing you want to make sure is that you have deductible coverage. So there may be an extra rider you can add to your insurance coverage to ensure that if the board comes to you for the deductible that you're covered. And you want to make sure that it's sufficient. And the way that you do that is to make sure you have a copy of your insurance policy for the corporation that outlines the corporation's liability if there's a deductible that for something that happens within the building, like the boiler explodes, but also what your deductible would be should something happen from your unit. So you want to get on that as soon as possible. Give your broker a call and make sure that they've got you lined up and give them that policy from the condo corp and they'll make sure, hopefully, that it all marries each other really nicely. So protect yourself. The other good news is that we now have limits on how much condo documents will cost. As a property owner, when you are selling your property in the purchase contract, you are obligated to provide to the buyer, should they ask for it as a condition of their offer, you're obligated to give them a long list of condo documents. Now, in the past, we were looking at prices for these documents to be between, anywhere from $100 to $1,100. There was one company in town that was charging an exorbitant amount of money for these documents. And now there's a limit. So most documents, they can only charge you $10 per now, which is great. And then, of course, you can ask for a rush, and they can charge you a rush fee, but there's a limit on that as well, where in the past, they could charge whatever they wanted for that. Our policy when we list a condo is we like to have all of the documents in advance because the management companies have 10 days to give you the documents once you ask for them, 10 business days. So if you got an offer on a Friday and you hadn't ordered your documents, you could be waiting upwards of 2 weeks to get those documents to the buyer, and lots of things can happen in that period of time. They can cool off. They could say, no, I want the documents by next Thursday, in which case you're going to have to pay for a rush fee. So order the documents early. There's a couple of them, like current financial statement and disclosure statement, that should only be ordered once you have an offer. However, the rest of them you can have in hand and hand those to the buyer so they can get started with their due diligence. Ask your realtor for help on this. I am a certified condo specialist through the Real Estate Board of Calgary, and many of us are, but they are complicated, and so it's important to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row when selling a condominium. If you have any questions, reach out anytime. Our contact information is at our website, www.thewrightrealestateteam.com, and either Steve or I can help you out with any questions you may have anytime. Have a great weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. Take care.